Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to Media News on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Sadia Yakubu. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365, Star Times channel 276, and Free TV. And now the news in details. President Bola Tinubu has expressed profound joy at the successful rescue of the children and teachers from the rural community in Ogbomoso, Oyo State by security forces. President Tinubu praised the efforts of the security agencies, especially the military, the DSS and the police for working around the clock in the last 56 days to secure the release of the abducted children and their teachers without any collateral damage, and for arresting 8 of the abductors and neutralizing others. President Tinubu regretted the anguish that the children and the teachers, as well as members of their families and the entire nation, have experienced since the sad occurrence. For cooperating with the federal government in all rescue efforts, President Tinubu commended the Oyo State government and charged it to secure adequate security around schools across the state. President Tinubu has also directed that the emergency agencies work with Oyo State government to provide all necessary medical and relief support to the children and the teachers. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Army says multiple arrests have been made during a month-long intelligence-led operation forced the kidnappers of 44 pupils and teachers in the rural local government area of Oyo State to release their captives unconditionally. The operation, led by the General Officer Commanding 2 Division Major General C.R. Nebifi, involved security agencies, intelligence services, and local security outfits that dismantled the kidnappers' network and logistics base across Oyo and neighboring states. The Army says sustained pressure from the coordinated operation disrupted the activities of the criminal gang and ultimately secured the safe release of the victims. The Broadcasting Organization of Nigeria, BON, has hailed President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Nigerian security agencies for the successful rescue of the abducted pupils and their teachers in Owerri local government area of Oyo State, describing the operation as a major breakthrough in the fight against kidnapping. In a statement signed by the Executive Secretary, Dr. Yemisi Bagnisi, BON praised the Nigerian military, the police, the Department of State Services, and other security agencies for their professionalism, courage, and effective interagency coordination that secure the victims' safe return. The organization also commended Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde and the residents for their cooperation with security agencies, urging the security forces to sustain intelligence-driven operations against criminal elements nationwide. BON expressed optimism that will continue political support and stronger collaboration among security agencies. Kidnapping and banditry will be significantly curtailed, while calling for speedy rescue of other victims still held captive across the country. The All Progressives Congress (APC) has officially endorsed Vice President Kashim Shettima as a running mate to President Bola Tinubu for the 2027 presidential election. APC National Chairman President Nindwata says the party is rewarding loyalty, commitment, and service with decision. Ubongo Usoro reports.
At the official unveiling of its presidential running mate and submission of the nomination form in Abuja, the leadership of the All Progressive Congress (APC) formally endorsed Vice President Kashim Shettima as the party's vice presidential candidate for the 2027 presidential election. Speaking at the event, the national chairman of the All Progressive Congress (APC), Professor Natawe Yawata, said Vice President Kashim Shettima has remained a loyal and committed member of the party.
It's a reflection of the wishes of over 12 million of our members of APC, who overwhelmingly voted Mr. President as their candidate to flag off the party candidature in the 2027 presidential election.
Suleiman Mohammed, the APC National Organizing Secretary, charged Shettima to remain steadfast in supporting the policy and programs of the party, and the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Want everybody to follow you, continue to support the party, support the leadership of the party, always, and continue to pray to our leaders, to our party, and to our dear government. And we also use this opportunity to thank all our governors for all the wonderful things they are doing in their respective states, providing dividends of democracy.
Felix Morka, the National Publicity Secretary of APC, added that the party's decision reflects its tradition of rewarding loyalty and dedication.
Candidate of our party is President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Hope Uzodinma, Imo State's governor, said APC governors unanimously support the Tinubu-Shettima ticket and pledged to work for the re-election of President Tinubu in the 2027 presidential election.
We are in our manners to support the political advisor to Mr. President to submit to the INEC nomination form for our presidential candidate and his running mate for the January presidential election 2027.
The endorsement of Kashim Shettima as President Tinubu's running mate is expected to strengthen the APC's preparations for the 2027 presidential elections. Ubong Usoro, Global TV News.
President Bola Tinubu has reiterated the commitment of his administration to ease the economic hardship facing Nigerians. The president, who was represented by the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, stated this at the commissioning of the newly constructed access route to the informal sector layout in Wasa District, Abuja, assured citizens that the difficult reforms being implemented will pave the way for a more prosperous future. Kabir Hassan reports.
President Tinubu acknowledged the economic challenges confronting the country, saying the reforms introduced by his administration were difficult but necessary to rebuild the nation's economy. He urged Nigerians to remain patient and continue supporting government efforts, assuring that the sacrifice being made today will lead to a lasting prosperity.
I'm deeply aware of the current economic realities across our nation. As your president, I feel your pain. I hear your concerns, and I carry the weight of their daily struggle. The economic reforms we have initiated are undoubtedly painful, and their immediate impact has been households and businesses alike. However, I assure you with the utmost sincerity that these decisions were not made lightly. They are difficult but necessary surgeries required to save the patient. We are painstakingly tearing down the structures of the past to lay an unshakable, sustainable foundation for a prosperous future.
The president reaffirmed his administration commitment to improving the welfare of Nigerians through sustained infrastructure development, economic reform, and policies aimed at building stronger and more resilient nation. The FCT minister, Nyesom Wike, said the Wasa Informal Sector project fulfills President Tinubu's promise to extend development to all parts of the Federal Capital Territory, assuring residents that the road project across Abuja will be completed before the end of his administration.
We believe by the grace of God, before the end of the term of the separated second term, that the full path, which is out about 10 kilometers, would have been awarded and also completed for the use of our people. One thing that Aquatrader Mechanic Association, where they are along there, will be moved to this particular district and the informal sector. But those promises were made by every government that has come. But thank God Almighty today, as Bola Ahmed Tinubu became the president of Nigeria, he discussed with them and told them that they moved them here. This has been fulfilled,
The newly commissioned access roads are expected to improve mobility and support businesses within Wasa informal sector, as the federal government says it will continue investing in infrastructure to improve the welfare of residents and fulfill the renewed hope agenda. Kabir Hassan, Global TV News.
Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu has described the newly remodeled Abuja City Gate as a symbol of Nigerians' unity, diversity, and shared aspirations as it reflects the nation's pride and identity. The president made the remarks during the inauguration of the landmark in Abuja. Again, Kabir Hassan reports.
President Tinubu, represented by the First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, said the upgraded City Gate, featuring a water fountain representing the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory, project the image of a united nation and serves as a befitting gateway to Nigeria's capital. He said the project is part of effort to strengthen national identity while improving the aesthetic of the Federal Capital Territory.
This newly remodeled Abuja City Gate, with its beautiful water fountain representing the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory, tells every visitor and Nigerians arriving from the airport that they have entered a city built on unity, diversity, and shared aspirations.
The FCT Minister, Nyesom Wike, said the transformation of the City Gate followed the intervention of the First Lady, who drew attention to the poor state of the monument. He expressed confidence that the remodeled landmark will become a major attraction for residents and visitors.
Today, our City Gate has changed. Come here, people can do their marriages here, can do their entertainment here, take pictures, and go and tell them, I am in overseas. The overseas I am is Nigeria.
The remodeled Abuja City Gate is one of several projects inaugurated by the FCT administration to mark the President Tinubu's third year in office and the 50th anniversary of the Federal Capital Territory. Kabir Hassan, Global TV News.
A federal high court in Abuja has again postponed judgment in Economic and Financial Crimes Commission suit seeking the final forfeiture of 47 properties allegedly linked to former Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami. The court rescheduled the judgment to July 15th after the presiding judge was unavailable, following earlier adjournment from July 6th and July 10th without hearing the matter. The Commission insists the properties were unlawfully acquired and should be forfeited to the federal government, while Malami maintains they were legitimately obtained and urged the anti-graft agency has failed to present credible evidence. The federal government has assured Nigerians there is no confirmed case of Ebola virus disease in the country, while unveiling a presidential communication team to strengthen public awareness and emergency preparedness. The reassurance came from the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, during the inauguration meeting of the Communication Subcommittee of the Presidential Task Force on Ebola Virus Preparedness and Emerging Public Health Threats in Abuja. The reports.
The Minister for Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, emphasized that while there is no cause for panic, Nigerians should remain alert and rely only on verified information from official government sources.
Let me assure Nigerians that there is currently no confirmed case of Ebola virus disease in Nigeria. Let me repeat, no confirmed case of Ebola virus disease in Nigeria. However, recent developments elsewhere in Africa remind us that infectious diseases know no borders. Our responsibility, therefore, is to remain vigilant while providing accurate information that reassures the public without creating any fear or panic.
Idris commended President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for establishing the Presidential Task Force, describing it as a proactive measure to safeguard public health through coordinated planning, effective communication, and timely response. He noted that communication remains a critical pillar in managing public health emergencies, recalling Nigeria's successful containment of Ebola outbreak in 2014 through strong leadership, effective surveillance, and sustained public awareness campaigns.
Let me express our profound appreciation to His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, for his foresight in establishing this presidential task force. This proactive decision reflects the administration's commitment to protecting the health and well-being of Nigerians through preparedness, coordination, and timely action. It is always better to prepare before a crisis than to respond after one has emerged.
The minister also disclosed that the National Orientation Agency has commenced nationwide sensitization using approved health messages developed in collaboration with the Nigerian Center for Disease Control and Prevention. He urged Nigerians to maintain good hygiene, promptly report suspected symptoms to health authorities, and disregard unverified reports capable of causing unnecessary panic. The federal government says preparedness, public cooperation, and accurate information remains essential to protecting the country against Ebola and other emerging public health threats. Sadia Yakubu, Global TV News.
The Nigerian Center for Disease Control and Prevention says the country recorded 66 confirmed Lassa fever cases and 7 deaths within 3 weeks as the disease continued to spread across 23 states and other 111 local government areas. The agency says Ondo, Bauchi, Taraba, Edo and Benue account for about 85% of confirmed infections recorded so far this year, with more than 5,000 suspected cases reported nationwide. Health authorities are urging Nigerians to remain vigilant and adopt preventive measures as efforts continue to contain the outbreak. The Imo State Police Command has intensified its crackdown on violent crimes, arresting 184 suspects for kidnapping, terrorism, armed robbery, and other offenses within the last 2 months. Commissioner of Police in Imo State, Audu Garba Bosso, made this known while addressing journalists on the operational activities of the command in the last 2 months. Amarachi Ibe reports.
The Commissioner of Police in Imo State, Audu Garba Bosso, says sustained intelligence-led operations have yielded major breakthrough in the fight against criminality across the state. He reveals that the arrest of 2 suspected kidnap kingpin led operative to a criminal hideout in the Ebema Rivers Creek, where 7 additional suspects were apprehended and more weapons recovered.
It will be recalled that on 30 June 2026, the command successfully rescued a kidnapped victim in Egbema, who was abducted on 27 June 2026 by the same kidnapping syndicate. Intelligence obtained from rescue operation, the subsequent arrest of kingpins, and their confessional statements led operative to the suspect hideout, culminating in the latest operation. During the operation, the camp was successfully dislodged and 7 additional suspects were arrested. During the operation, the command recovered 1 AK-47 rifle, 4 AK-47 magazines, 16 rounds of 7.62 mm ammunition, 3 locally made cut-to-size guns, 16 live cartridges, 1 empty Beretta magazine, 20 rounds of GPMG ammunition, 1 human skull, and assorted criminal charms.
The Commissioner of Police further says a follow-up operations at the Obiapo swamp uncover more ammunition, while investigations linked members of the gang to the killing of 2 personnel of the Imo State Home Security Outfit. The command also announced the arrest of 2 suspects in 2 separate sexual offense cases involving minors in Osu and Ngobala local government areas.
Acting on credible intelligence, operatives of the Imo State Police Command stormed the Obiaku swamp in Ohaji Egbema local government area, where they recovered an additional cache of 346 rounds of live ammunition, comprising 122 rounds of AK ammunition, 148 rounds of M16 rifle ammunition, and 76 rounds of 96 Beretta pistol ammunition. The operative also recovered 7 magazines comprising 4 AK-47 rifle magazine and 3 M16 rifle magazines, respectively.
CP Bosse urges residents to continue providing timely and credible information to security agencies, stressing that public support remains vital in sustaining the fight against crime in the state. From Owerri, Amarachi Ibe, Global TV News.
You're watching the live broadcast of Midday News. The Midday News continues after these weather forecasts plus business, foreign and sports stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us.
Glad you could join us. Weather conditions are shaping up for an active day across much of the country as early morning thunderstorms are expected to develop across the northern region, affecting parts of Adamawa, Taraba, Gombe, Bauchi, Kaduna, Kano, Katsina, Zamfara, Kebbi, and Sokoto State. And across the central region, we also expect light rainfall, while parts of the coastal areas, including parts of Ogun, Abia, Ondo, and Lagos State, are expected to experience scattered showers and thunderstorms. And as the day unfolds, thunderstorm activity is expected to intensify and extend across many parts of the country, bringing periods of rains that are expected to persist through the afternoon and into the evening hours. And with the widespread cloud cover and rainfall, daytime temperatures across the southern cities will remain in their upper 20s. And we expect a continuous drop in both day and nighttime temperatures throughout the weekend. And that's your weather update for Saturday. I am Akani Samarda.
Welcome back from that short break. And in business news, Nigerian stock market has emerged as the world's best performing equity market in dollar terms this year, overtaking South Korea following sweeping economic reforms, improved foreign exchange liquidity, and a stronger naira. According to reports, Nigerian's benchmark index has returned 67% in dollar terms, placing it ahead of 91 other stock market track globally. Analysts say improving macroeconomic conditions and renewed investor confidence continue to drive strong performance in Nigerian's equity markets. A federal high court in Abuja has upheld the powers of the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission to investigate consumer complaints relating to airline ticketing price, ruling that the agency's negative powers are separate from its authority to regulate prices. The judgment dismissed AirP's challenge to the Commission's investigation into complaints over increased domestic airfares during the 2024 festive season. The ruling strengthens the Commission's authority to investigate alleged exploitation price practices and protecting consumers' rights. South African President Cyril Ramaphosa has begun a 3-day official visit to France with talks aimed at strengthening political, economic, and strategic cooperation between both countries. President Emmanuel Macron welcomed Ramaphosa to the Élysée Palace, where discussions are expected to focus on regional security, economic partnerships, and global issues affecting both nations. Ramaphosa will also meet French business leader, co-chair discussions on education at UNESCO, and attend commemorations marking the 110th anniversary of the Battle of Delhi Wood. The United States wants Iran to publicly reaffirm that the Strait of Hormuz remains open to commercial shipping and commit to ending attacks on vessels as both countries prepare for fresh negotiation in Oman. Report says Iranian officials privately acknowledged that recent attacks on commercial ships were a mistake and blamed a rogue faction, while insisting they remain committed to the ceasefire agreement. Senior officials from both countries are expected to lead the talks as efforts continue to ease tensions and safeguard one of the world's busiest oil shipping routes. And in sport, Super Falcons head coach Justin Madugu has named a 25-player squad for 2026 Women's African Cup of Nations, returning captain Rasheedat Ajibade, goalkeeper Chiamaka Nadozie, and forward Asisat Oshola for Nigerian's title defense. The defending champions will compete in Group C against Egypt, Zambia, and Malawi as they pursue a record-extending 11th continental title in Morocco. One of the biggest surprises in the squad is the omission of defender Ashley, who played a key role in Nigerian's triumph at the last edition of the tournament. With just 13 days to 2026 Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, Scotland, Nigerians will be able to follow Team Nigerian's campaign live and free on television and digital platforms. This is as the National Sports Commission has partnered with the World Network to secure free-to-air broadcast rights as athletics intensify preparations and promise impressive performances on the international stage. Sports correspondent Anita Patrick reports.
The countdown to Glasgow 2026 Commonwealth Games has entered its final phase, with the National Sports Commission taking another major step to bring the excitement closer to Nigerians. Through a partnership with the World Network, the Commission has secured free-to-air broadcast rights, allowing millions of viewers to watch Team Nigeria compete live on the Nigerian Television Authority, TV Continental, other terrestrial television stations, and online platforms throughout the Games. Director General of the National Sports Commission, Bukola Olokpade, and the Chief Executive Officer of the Watts Media Group, Chichi Nwoko, say the initiative is designed to unite Nigerians behind their athletes while inspiring the next generation of sporting talent.
Essentially, I feel this is a great opportunity for the media to partner us and disseminate extensively what this is about so that millions of Nigerians from the obscure parts of the country will be able to enjoy the games.
We've secured the free-to-air rights, meaning that every Nigerian won't have to worry about subscription. The key thing is that as the entire events are available for viewing, is that we encourage the press to work with us for highlights, clips, for your news segments, for your digital platforms.
The chairman of the commission, Shehu Diko, says the initiative underscores the commission's commitment to making major international sporting events accessible to all Nigerians while strengthening support for Team Nigeria as the nation's athletes compete on one of the world's biggest multi-sport stages.
Budget line since 2025. We have a clear budget line where we put in our budget line that there's a provision to acquire sports rights for leagues and elite sports for monetization through NTA. Exactly what we are doing here. We are not just throwing the money down the drain. If we buy this right will go to the networks and everything, and we will try to monetize it.
As broadcast plans take shape, Team Nigeria athletes have also expressed confidence in their readiness to deliver memorable performances and make the nation proud.
I see some elite performance and extraordinary performance. I'm assuring you, like, the 100 meters is gonna be good. It's gonna be fun to watch.
I hope and I believe that we are ready to go and we are going to try our best.
I'm going to give my best, as I always do.
I just want the Nigerian to support us because, like Ajayi said, we are ready and we are going to make Nigeria proud.
The Commission believes the Glasgow Games will not only strengthen national support for Nigerian athletes, but also serve as an important platform in preparations for future global competitions, including Los Angeles 2028 Olympic Games. Anita Patrick, Global TV News.
And that's it on Midday News. Here's a quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276 and Free TV. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen using that Global TV NG. I am Sadia Yakubu saying thank you for watching.